Roses are red, Violets are blue, Leeds are 1, the Blades are 2. Who will be in the mixer this coming weekend? We're going to take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. It's all about Matchday number 33 in the Championship, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new where you've been, hit the old subscribe. You want subshop for Championship, Blackburn Rovers, World Football. We get it all here under one rooski. That's right, Leeds, Sheffield United, Burnley and Sunderland, all with important victories this week to continue their breakaway pack at the top of the table. What's going on down the foot? We'll take a look at it, all of it in a second. Big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. Again, your one-stop shop for Championship is here. Hit the old subscribe. But right now, we're going to jump in the deep end and have a look what went on this past midweek. Wow, what a week it's been. Of course, in the Championship, and as you see it, the results are on the screen right about now. Of course, starting with Coventry's 1-0 win over QPR at the RCA Arena. I went with a 1-0 win myself. Derby, new manager Derby, should we say? We don't want to talk about. We'll talk about that in a little bit here, but they come out with a 0-0 draw against Oxford. I went with a 1-0 win. Meanwhile, Portsmouth did beat Cardiff 2-1. I went with a 3-1 win. Let me just punch my stuff in here to get the Super Brew up and running. Meanwhile, Watford did lose to Leeds United 4-0. I went with a 3-1 win for Leeds. Norwich did lose, surprisingly, to Preston North End 1-0. I went the other way. Bristol City with a 2-0 win over Stoke. I went with a 1-0 win. Plymouth did beat Millwall. I went with a 2-0 win. It was a 5-1 win. Swansea losing at home to Sheffield Wednesday. Wow. Burnley with a comfortable 2-0 win over Hull City. I went with a 3-0 win. Sunderland did beat Luton Town 2-0. I went with a 2-0 win. Sheffield United with a 3-1 win over Borough. Got that one spot on the nose. And Rovers. Get in there. 2-0 winners over Wimbledon. Goodness gracious me. Now, quick look at the table. Leeds United are top by the Pops with 69 points. The Blades are in second with 67. Then it's Burnley. Then it's Sunderland in their own little race. Then it is Rovers. Then it is West Brom in the playoffs as it stands. Bristol City and Sheffield Wednesday very, very close. Going down, it's Hull. It is Plymouth. It is Luton. We just don't know this league. This league is just bonkers. Not sure about who's in the playoffs. Realistically, don't know who's going down right now. It's anybody's guess. Meanwhile, what else is anyone's guess is the Super Brew. Week for Hansworth, 18 points for him. Xanders also with 18. Jake Harmon with 16. Jake Harmon also with 18. Three guys got themselves top bins with me in second place, technically. I should get a medal for that. So not too shabby in my eyes. Mac is with a 16-pointer as well. Joachim Jakobsen and Pennywise also with 16. I know my shit, guys. I know my shit. And then, of course, the rest of the pack. If you see your name in there, please smash your like, smash your subscribe. Look at Philly Pete. Too busy getting engaged. 1.5 points for him. Grim stuff for the Pete legend. Meanwhile, over in the business here, Alex Weller still running away with it. 330 points, 0.5. Pennywise is in second, and then KP 21. As for me, I'm in 17th, up 4 spots, baby, as my race for the top 10 continues. I need another one of those weeks. Can I get it right here, right now? Of course, if you see your name in there, please smash the like, smash your subscribe. If you want to get involved, this is the link right here, right now. It's still available. Get in there, get amongst it. If you get all the predictions right from now to the end of the season, you're going to win. You're going to bloody win. But these are the next round of games. It's coming at you thick and fast. It is the Championship. And, of course, all the action kicks off this coming Friday night. Is Valentine's Day. Will it be QPR? Will it be Derby? That's right. At Loftus Road. QPR under Marty Cufientes, 13th for the table, 41 points for the season. Up against Derby under... Yeah, you know, John Eustace is there, taking over the reins, but they are winless in at least the last 9 games. Back-to-back draws for them, 21st in the table, 29 points for the season, up against QPR and Marty Cufientes. They played 30 times since 2004, 10 wins QPR, 11 wins Derby, 9 draws between the two sides. Last time around at this very venue, it was a 1-0 win for QPR back in April 2022. The reverse fixture this season at Pride Park was a 2-0 win for Derby. Derby on the back of that 0-0 draw against Oxford. QPR losing to Coventry most recently. But the bookies for this one, new manager bounce, not so much. QPR fancy for the victory. Gonna go there as well. 2-0 winners. Stick it up your ass, John Eustace. Cardiff up against Bristol City over in Wales. Coming at you this coming Saturday, the 15th of Feb. Cardiff under Omar Ritza. They are 20 for the table, 31 points of the season. 2 defeats in the last 3. Up against Bristol City under Liam Manning. 50% form for them right now. 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. They just lost once, though. In the last 5, they sit 7th. 45 points for the season. 35 times they have played each other since 2002. 18 wins Cardiff. 11 wins Bristol City. 6 draws between the two sides. Last time around in Wales, 2-0 winners it was for Cardiff. Cardiff are actually unbeaten against Bristol City over the last 4, winning 3 and drawing that 1. That 1 draw was this season at Thrashton Gate, 1-1 back in October. Cardiff on the back of that 2-1 loss to Portsmouth. Bristol City picking up a 2-0 win over Stoke. Goodness gracious me. The bookies for this one, they'll give it only just to Cardiff. It's one of those, but I'm going to go with a 1-0 win as well. Cardiff taking the shot at the big time. Meanwhile, Oxford United against Portsmouth coming at the Kazam. Gary Rowett's Oxford, 60 for the table, 38 points for the season. They are winless now in the last 4. Portsmouth under John Mousinho, 1 win in the last 5. They're 18th with 33 points for the season. They have played 33 times as well since 1993. 10 wins apiece, 13 draws between the two sides, including a draw last time around at this very venue, the Kazam, back in January 2024. It was a 2-2 thriller back in League One. This season at Fratton Park, also a 1-1 draw. Goodness gracious me, in fact, 4 of the last 5 between these two sides have ended up all square. Speaking of all square, Oxford were all square against Derby most recently at Pride Park. Portsmouth, though, picking up a 2-1 win over Cardiff at Fratton Park. The odds for this one, they'll give it to Oxford, but only just. Going to go with a 2-1 win as well. Back into winning ways for Gary Rowett. Meanwhile, Preston off-end against Burnley. Bit of a clash at the top of the table. When I say tip of the top of the table, I mean Burnley at tip of the top of the table. They are third right now, 64 points for the season. Up against Nobbers, Paul Heckingbottom, 15 for the table, 40 points for the season. Just one defeat, though, in the last 6. They are starting to cook some gas here. 40 points for the season. Now, they've played Burnley 30 times since the year 2000. There's been 11 wins for Preston, 14 wins for Burnley. There's been 5 draws between the two sides. Last time around at Deepdale, it was a 1-1 draw back in September 2022. The reverse fixture this campaign at Turd Moor was a 0-0 draw back in October. Burnley on the back of that 2-0 win over Hull. Of course, a bazillion clean sheets in a row, but 3 wins on the spin now for Burnley. Coming at you, Preston on the back of that 1-0 win over Norwich. Back-to-back wins for them. So maybe a good opportunity for them to get some local bragging rights here. Preston, of course, are out fancied. Burnley, of course, the fancied one by the bookies. I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw here. Of course, local bragging rights on the line. I think Burnley will do their thing defensively, and I think Preston will just will match them 0-0 in the end. Meanwhile, we'll go over to Ewood Park. There's a lot of spice going in the northwest this weekend. There's a Rovers under John Eustace. This is not under John Eustace. It's under David Lowe. Coming into his 5th of the table, 48 points for the season, 2 wins, 2 defeats in the last 4. Meanwhile, Plymouth under Muran Music, 3 wins on the spin, unbeaten the last 4. They're 23rd with 28 points for the season. They have played each other 5 times since 2017. Rovers yet to get a win over Plymouth. They've won 3 and there's been 2 draws between the two sides. Last time around at this very venue, it was a 1-1 draw back in March 2024. Plymouth, though, picked up a 2-1 win this season, probably under Rooney, way back in October as one of his only wins. Plymouth on the back of that 5-1 win over Millwall. They're cruising right now. They've won 3 on the spin, but all 3 of those games were at home park. Their away form's still a bit questionable. So we'll see about that. Meanwhile, Rovers, though, on the back of a 2-0 win over West Bromwich Albion. Who once saw that one coming? Not me. Of course, the bookies for this one, they'll give it to Blackburn, much so, but I don't think it's going to be that obvious. This one's a tricky one. We're kind of managerless. Plymouth are just cooking with their new coach right now. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Blackburn Rovers, but only just. It's going to be one of them nervy encounters, but hopefully we can hang on in there. Meanwhile, Hull City up against Norwich City, of course, coming at you at the MKM Stadium. Hull under Ruben Selles, 22nd in the table, 29 points for the season, just 1 win the last 4. Up against Norwich, Jonas Torup, 42% form for them. Back-to-back games without a win. They sit 11th with 43 points for the season. They have played 20 times since 2005, 5 wins Hull, 8 wins Norwich, 7 draws between the two sides. Last time around, at this venue, it was a 2-1 win for Norwich back in January 2024. The reverse fixture, a 4-0 win for Norwich back in October. The Canaries on the back of that 1-0 loss to Preston North End. Hull losing to Burnley most recently. The odds for this one, very tight. The bookies cannot separate them. It could be a draw. I'm going with a 2-0 win, though, for the Tigers to kick on under Ruben Selles. Meanwhile, Luton Town up against Sheffield United. Luton under Matt Bloomfield, 70% form for them right now, still winless in at least the last 9 games. They're rock bottom, 24th in the table, 27 points for the season. Up against Sheffield United, Chris Wilder, 1 defeat in the last 6. They've won 5 of their last 6. second in the table, 67 points for the season. They played each other 13 times since 1994. 4 wins Luton, 6 wins Sheffield United, 3 draws between the two sides. Last time around, over at Bloomfield Road, it was a 3-1 win for Sheffield United back in February 2024. This season at Bramall Lane, it was a 2-0 win for Sheffield United back in October. The Blades on the back of that 3-1 win over Borough most recently. Luton losing to Sunderland at the Stadium of Shite. Meanwhile, the odds right here, right now, they'll go with Sheffield United, of course, our fancy. Luton, of course, underdogs. They're in a load of trouble right now, the Hatters. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. Sheffield United, unfortunately, for the Hatters, struggling yet again. Borough up against Watford, coming at the Riverside. Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough, 9th in the table, 44 points for the season. Just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Carrick, Tom Cleverley, winless in the last 5. Both sides need a win and fast. They are 12th right now, 42 points for the season. They played 29 times since 1993. 9 wins Borough, 12 wins Watford, and 8 draws between the two sides. Last time around, over at Middlesbrough, was a 3-1 win for the Borough back in May 2024. The reverse fixture at Vicarage Road was a 2-1 win for Watford. Watford on the back of that 4-0 loss to Leeds at home. Middlesbrough losing to Sheffield United 3-1 last time around. The odds for this, though, Borough fancy to get back to winning ways. Me too, think it as well. 2-0 winners, the Borough to take it. And, of course, get themselves back in the mixer for the top 6. Millwall up against West Bromwich Albion coming at the Den. Alex Neil's Millwall, 14th for the table, 40 points for the season. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. That 1 defeat was a heavy one. The Baggies under Tony Mowbray, 42% form for them right now. 2 wins of the last 6. They are 6th right now, 47 points for the season. They have played 22 times since 1993. 8 wins Millwall, 5 wins West Brom, 9 draws between the two sides. Speaking of draws, they've drawn each other 4 times on the spin, including last time around at the Den. 1-1 it was back in March 2024. Also, the reverse fixture at the Hawthorns, 0-0 way back in October. Millwall on the back of that 5-1 loss to Plymouth. West Brom with a 2-0 loss to Rovers, of course, just the other day. The odds for this one, quite tight. Millwall fancied West Brom the underdogs. Going to go with a 1-1 draw myself, going with the form book, or the history book, should we say, in the end. Meanwhile, Sheffield Wednesday against Coventry, a bit of a ding-dong encounter here, coming at you at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday under Danny Roll, just 1 defeat in the last 5. They are 8th, 45 points for the season. Up against 10th place Coventry, Frank Lampard, 2 defeats in the last 3. They are 10th right now, 44 points for the season. They played 37 times since 1993. 16 wins Coventry, 10 wins Wednesday, 11 draws between the two sides. Last time around at Hillsborough, it was in the league. It was a 2-1 win for Coventry. That was back in January 2024. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture, this is confusing here, guys. This is confusing. The reverse fixture, a 2-1 win for Wednesday at the RC Arena back in October 2024. They also played each other in the Cup back on the 11th of Jan. It was a 4-3 penalty shootout for Coventry. So Wednesday, just 1 win in the last 6 against Coventry. Coventry, though, on the back of that 1 win of a QPR. Wednesday on the back of that 1 win of a Swansea. The odds for this one looks quite tight. Sheffield Wednesday fancied at home. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Coventry on this one to get them back in the mixer once again for top 6. Stoke City against Swansea in the back of the S's. Coming out of the bet 365. Stoke to Mark Robbins, 19th for the table, 32 points for the season. Just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Swansea to Luke Williams, they are 17th for the table, 37 points for the season. And I played each other 27 times since 2011. 13 wins Stoke, 8 wins Swansea, 6 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at Stoke, it was a 1-1 draw back in December 2023. The reverse fixture in Wales this season, also a 0-0 draw. Swansea on the back of that 1-0 loss to Wednesday. Stoke on the back of that 2-0 loss to Bristol City. The odds for this one, quite tight, but the bookies go with Stoke for the victory. Going to go with a 2-0 win myself. The Potters getting back to winning ways. And then finally, a bit of a ding-dong crunch clash at the top of the table coming at you on Monday, February the 17th. It's Leeds, it's Sunderland, it's Ellen Road is the venue. Daniel Farker's table toppers are 69 points for the season. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. Up against Sunderland under Reggie Labrie, 4th in the table, 62 points for the season, 75% form for them as well. They played 20 times since 1996. 10 wins for Leeds, 7 wins for Sunderland, 3 draws between the two sides. Last time around at this venue, 0-0 it was. At Ellen Road. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture, a 2-2 draw at the Stadium Light back in October. Remember that chaos goal, Meisler at the end there. But 3 of the last 4 have ended up all square. Leeds on the back of that 4-0 win over Watford. Sunderland on the back of that 2-0 win over Luton. The odds for this one, they go with Leeds overwhelmingly so, as do I. 3-1 win, statement win. Sunderland will need to bounce back and fast to remain in that top 2 discussion. But that, my friends, is what I've got. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like. It will be Leeds. It will be Sheffield United, tip at the top of the table. Burnley will be in 3rd place with Sunderland in 4th. I think that's about right. Rovers in 5th spot, 51 points. West Brom in 6th. Going down Luton, Plymouth, and then Derby at the moment. But we'll see how that pans out. Of course, see if I'm right, see if I'm wrong. But until then, subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. We are done.